Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Special Edition. If you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Please also share this broadcast wide and far. I'm joined by Ranty, who's going to give us a demonstration of some of the things he's been capturing on his camera very, very recently indeed. So first and foremost, how are you doing, Ranty? Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Excellent stuff. So I've got you up on screen. Talk us through what you've been shooting.
Right. Well, it's a funny thing because I've probably seen these mountain ranges my entire life, and I've never really thought about it. And it was only on a video that I'd shot last year, and was looking through it because I needed to free up some space on my computer. And this is the actual video in question. It's the 55th video that I ever did with the P900. So I think for the last couple of days we've been talking about this, and essentially what it was the mountain ranges to the side of the pier. Now this is South Pier in Blackpool, and here we have the mountain ranges in the background. Now this was done last year, so I thought I'd go along today and measure the height of this pier because it was my intention to find out and scale it up how high this mountain would be if I was scaling it, because it was 0.95 miles to the end of the pier, and I believe the mountain ranges were some 60 miles away. So it was my intention to try and figure out what the height of this mountain is that I was actually seeing. But when I went there today, I captured an awful lot more. I'm going to play you a video. I think it was this one. Here I am. So what had happened is I had to avoid security to get onto the pier because the pier was actually closed today. They were doing maintenance on it. I think it's probably not open for a couple of weeks now at least. So I managed to get onto the end of the pier, and there's all these workmen around who were looking at me thinking, what am I doing getting the P900 out and stuff. But as you can see, I just basically ignored them anyway. And I was able to see the same mountains in the background, which surprised me because I didn't expect to see them with it being, I know it looks sunny, but it wasn't actually, it didn't appear to be that visible until I actually just looked and I saw it. It was fantastic. So these mountain ranges were clearly visible again. But now that I was up there, I decided to do some proper experiments rather than just it was like a holiday video that I'd done before, which happened to capture the mountains. So here we have the wind farms and the mountains in the background. The height, the elevation from where I'm actually filming at the moment is about 40 feet above the water. So that was my experience from on the pier. I then decided to do some photography from lower down. So I went down onto the beach. This was my exact location. And I decided that I was going to look through this particular window here between these stanchions. So it was an easy identifiable place to be because it was about a third of the way across this building. And I thought, well, I've now got the GPS working, but this will give me a great line of sight to work out if I do see anything, what I'm actually capturing. So one of the next images was this image. Now it doesn't look like much at the moment, until you scroll in a little bit and you can make some definition out. You can see the wind farms and definitely see things here. So I decided to open it up and play around with the contrast, and lo and behold, this is what I was able to capture. So I've been working on it for the rest of the day to try and figure out exactly what I was seeing. So I went to Peak Finder, and here we have Blackpool South Pier, which is where I've put my coordinates in. On Google Earth, I've also done my GPS. I've got the wind farms put in, and I'm actually looking directly from my GPS location here through to the side of 1/3 of the side of this building. And then all I needed to do then was get a measurement here to tell me what the direction is that I was looking in, which is roughly about 195 degrees. So once I had all this information at hand, I went to Peak Finder. I put in 100 and I need to look for 195 degrees now. And hopefully I should be able to find the mountain ranges that I am. Where am I? 195. There we go. Oh, still jumping around. There we go. 195 degrees south takes me to Mole Y Park. Now, as you can see, this has a very distinct hump, 2 humps, 1, 2. You've got Moley Park and Penny Clodiau or something like that. So when you look at the image again, this is what you're seeing, the 2 humps. So I've got the degrees lined up. The wind farms in the foreground. Just bear with me a sec. Sorry, I do apologise about that. It's one of those prank calls. Well, not prank calls, you know, people phoning you up. Right, can you still hear me, Nathan?
Yeah, we're still going. It's all good.
Right, perfect. Right, okay. So here's the wind farms. There's one particular wind farm that's just on its own here. Very, it's easy to see. It's when I go through the wind farm itself, what you'll see is there is a single wind farm here. So we are looking in this direction. That's absolutely crystal clear. It lines up with Peak Finder. It lines up with the coordinates. Everything's perfect for it. Next, I decided to, where am I? Here we go. Put in the heights. So Penny Clodiau has a total height above sea level of 1,393 feet. Mole Y Park, 1,300 feet. So I've put a line in across each, and I've put a big red line in at the bottom, basically to show that this image is now straight, because it was slightly off angle when I took the image. And I've put a ruler in the middle. So when we come in, what it works out to is I've put the 1,400 feet here. So number 14 would be there. Lines up perfectly with the 1,300 here. Lines up perfectly with the 9 in the middle. Now that'll become important when I show you the last thing, which is when we go to Google Earth, and I'll show you on Google Earth actually. This line going across Moley Park and what I've showed you today, if I put the elevation profile in, you'll see that this is exactly what it says. 1,393 is there, down to 1,299 there. But the gap in the middle is down to 918 feet. Right, so that middle part, 918 feet between the 2 peaks. So again, back to the image, and we look at this image here. Again, just above the 9, So it's all. This is all lining up very consistently. But here's the great stuff, because we know we're seeing all of this mountain and these wind farms. Look how low we're seeing to, about 100 feet or so. Literally everything lines up. We've got the directions to know that this is the correct mountain ranges that we're looking at. The profile, the peaks line up, the heights of the peaks match. The gap in the middle is consistent, and you can see how I'm actually looking up to these mountains, because from my location I have to look up at the wind farms. The wind farms are about 300 feet tall. And there we have it. That's what I was able to find today. So we're looking at a total distance on Google Earth. Let's cancel this off.
I say, can you summarize it again? But it sounds like you're about to.
And we'll go to this point here, and we'll put a distance in to show how far these mountain ranges are from where I actually took the image. I pop that there. 42.74. I'm going to go to Metabunk, 42.74. And refracted hidden should be 840. Hidden without any refraction should be pretty much 1,000. 1,200 should be the drop. So the hidden, which is 997, and if we look at the elevation profile of this, which is down to here, this is where this line is going through here, is basically what we should see if we lived on a boat. But of course, we know that we're seeing much more of this.
Well, you can represent that. Can you just show Peak Finder again? Because that's pretty much how Peak Finder depicts it.
Exactly. I mean, Peak Finder do the same thing. They show you how it should appear from Blackpool South Pier. So if we're looking at this area here, and you see the tips of the mountain, and a little teeny gap in the middle. But that's not what you actually see in real life. In real life, it is different. In real life, this is what you actually do see. And you see that the turbines in the foreground give it some scale. So all this should be hidden. Anything above this line, this line here, everything underneath that, sorry, should be gone. You should only see the tippy toppies of these. And clearly we're seeing much, much more. Down to 100 feet.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add? Or if not, I'll round out there.
That's all I wanted to say. It's just what images show.
Say that again.
It's just what the images show. You know, you can go out and you can look 42 miles and you can see down to 100 feet.
Yeah, flat as a pancake. Cool, Renty. Thank you very much. That's an absolute pleasure having you.
Again, nice to be here.
And I will also say a massive thank you to all of the audience for tuning in. Be sure to share this broadcast far and wide. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.